Hey art friends, Mrs. Talbot here in the JKB Art Studio, and today we're going to make a ancient Greek inspired vase, and I'll show you how to make your own scratch paper to make scratch art. If you don't have the supplies for this one at home, you're welcome to use black construction paper and crayons to get a similar look, but it's a lot of fun to make your own scratch board. And I'll show you how. We don't want to waste a lot of time coloring and painting paper that we're not going to use. So we're going to draw our vase first. We're going to start with the top of our vase. We're going to draw a slender ellipse or hot dog shape at the top. And then I'm going to draw the lip of the jar. And I'm going to go out and in, out and in. And it's okay if it's not perfect. You know, these vases come in all shapes and sizes, short, tall, thin, wide. I'm going to give it these iconic handles. It really makes it look like a Greek vase with these handles on there. So then we're not wasting our time coloring and cutting outside of here. So we're going to take our peeled crayons, and I suppose they don't have to be peeled. It is nice. And we're going to color really hard with these guys. I've got some earth tones, some colors you might see in clay. Got red and brown, and you're going to color really, really, really hard so your paper is almost shiny with wax. This works best with name brand crayons like Crayola, but you can experiment with what you have. All colored nice and thick. Then you're going to get your scissors and you're going to cut it out. And I'll show you how to get this part out. So you're going to fold this over, don't make a crease, and you're going to snip it, and then there is a little hole for you to navigate with your scissors. Do the same thing over here. All right, mixing up our paint. I just got a jar to mix it in. This is tempera paint. Tempera paint is usually washable. Washable paint works better for this. You can experiment with acrylic if it's all you have. I'm gonna put a little bit in there. And the magic ingredient, Dawn dish soap, or any other kind of dish soap for that matter. The brand doesn't matter. And you'll just put a couple drops of that dish soap in there. That smells good. And stir it up. The dish soap will make your paint flaky when it dries, and that'll make it easier for you to scratch off. So here's a bit of scratch paper I have laying around because I don't want to get my desk too dirty. And I'm going to brush on a thin layer. All right, we're going to let that dry. All right, so I'm going to use my scissors as a drawing tool to scratch off some of this dry paint. If it doesn't want to scratch off, it may be that we didn't use enough soap, and that's okay. It still gives you kind of a nice white look. We're going to start by drawing some lines across the bottom and the top. These are called friezes. And we're going to use them to do some different Greek patterns. So you'll find in the lesson on Schoology some different options for things you might choose to do for your patterns, or you can make up your own. Wow, that's working really nice. And you're going to take your time with this. We're leaving this middle part open, and I'll tell you why in a second. Now you can say that you've drawn a picture with scissors. And you're going to try to have 3 patterns on bottom and 3 patterns on top, and it's okay if you repeat. They don't have to be 3 different ones, although it is kind of neat if you use your creativity and come up with more than one. All right, what am I going to put at the top? How about some vines? Maybe some of those Greek swirls. And maybe I'll repeat that zigzag again. This center part usually would depict a character from Greek mythology or tell a story of Greek mythology. Greek myths kind of explained how things in the world worked, or how the ancients imagined that they came about. You're going to use that area to scratch out a story that you would like to tell. Either a story that you've read, a video game story perhaps, or even better, one that you've made up yourself or something that's happened in your own life. The story that mine depicts is when my dog Sophie had to take training classes at the pet store with me. Here she is when she learned how to stay, and here's all the treats that she was rewarded for doing what she was supposed to do. She's a Pomeranian, so she looks kind of cat-like in this picture. So I want you to think about what story you're wanting to tell, and you'll scratch that picture onto your vase. I can't wait to see what you come up with.